didn't like our bumper music and
It's
we
in the
come in.
works.
We're going to change it.
We're working on it. We're going to change
Only
it.
because of you.
I'll see if I can write a jingle and do some backup.
Oh,
vocals.
we could
Never
do
see
that. That would be great.
No promises.
That'd be great. So, okay, great. Yeah, tell us what we
Oh,
are.
yeah,
Doug.
we're AM 1220 KHTS, your hometown station. The Gazette Radio Hour with Doug and John. And we have Perry Smith with us, the news director from KHTS, occasional contributing writer to the Santa Clarita Gazette, as we talk about last night's forum.
Yeah. Now, okay, my pet peeve with these things is that you're asking the same question to 13 candidates,
Right.
13 times.
I just think that's what you have to do in the interest of fairness.
Yeah, but you have, it doesn't promote dialogue, even between the candidates. Isn't there some way to, or at least let them know, hey guys, it's okay to not say, oh, I completely agree, however I disagree, but I agree.
Well, that's on the candidates, though. I mean, I think you have an opportunity at those forums to say, yeah, and some people did. Some people took some shots at the incumbents and said, hey, look at the past. I don't think it's been done well, and I can do it better.
Right.
But that's on you as an incumbent if you want again
As a
to take
candidate,
that
I mean,
seat. There's a
candidates, if
candidate,
they want to
yeah.
go after the incumbents, they've got
Right,
to.
sorry, that's what
I
I
think
meant.
they've got to stand up at some point in time and say, okay, look, yeah, you did X, Y, and Z, but I think A, B, and C is what needed to be done, and this is your responsibility, and you didn't do this.
And I would have liked to have seen more specific plans, but maybe that was part of the issue there is with the the 1 minute limitation.
The 1 minute
So
is tough.
You're either responding or you're creating your own ideas, but you're not really given a chance to do both with the minute. But that's
Right.
just kind of the nature of the game. I mean, if we had a 5-hour broadcast, would you have watched it?
No.
Yeah, honestly.
Perry-
Yeah.
I forgot what I was going to say.
Well, thanks, Doug. Okay,
No,
that
I know what I was going to say. Did everybody have an opening segment before they got the questions? Okay.
Their opening statements,
Yeah.
they were given a 1 minute opening and a 1 minute closing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Would that be the time to try to separate yourself from
think so.
everybody else? And you're saying that wasn't done, in your opinion?
I thought a little bit, but not as much as I would have liked to have seen. I just think that you had a lot of people. It was a little more vanilla than I would have liked to have seen.
Okay. A couple questions on topics. Was anything brought up about the Whitaker-Burmite situation?
No.
Okay. Was anything brought up about the pending billboard situation?
Didn't talk about the billboard.
Okay.
Wow. That was a question that if there had been more time, we would have gotten to because somebody had asked about that. But again, it's the nature of just 2 hours.
One thing I've been a little bit of an advocate on, just because I deal with so many business folk, is the seemingly, I don't want to say unfair
How
process.
about ridiculous?
Of a business a new business trying to open up here, getting permitted. I've heard horror story after horror story. I had 2 more yesterday that I heard that just made my eyes cross. I couldn't believe what these folks are having to go through with the city to open their business or expand their business. Was that brought up at all?
No, it was. They did bring up the process of when issues are brought towards the people. One of the audience questions was, it feels as though the issues are being forced on the people as opposed to presented. And that gave the incumbents a chance to say, hey, this is how we do it and this is why we do it, and then it gave the challengers the opportunity again to open up with an attack if they wanted to try and unseat that incumbent.
Right.
And I didn't see enough of that. That's what I was talking about, where you said you had an opportunity there, but I don't know that necessarily the challengers did the best job of capitalizing on that opportunity.
And that's the problem. If they don't capitalize on those opportunities, then the people are going to sit there and be happy with the status quo.
And if you're happy with the status quo, then hey, go ahead and vote for the incumbents.
There's your decision.
But
right
why are you running?
there. Yeah. And that's exactly it. And they've got to start making their move. I mean,
this is the push.
It's getting late in the season.
Absolutely.
8 weeks roughly.
So-
Yeah.
Till the election.
It's time, and they've got to get their message out there, and getting it out there this late in the game. So what?
It's tough. It takes momentum.
Was there a keystone moment, like a gotcha moment at
No,
all?
I don't think so, to be honest with you. And,
So I mean, why even go to these things?
there was some good discussion, and again, getting the impression of what the issues were. One advantage that I thought that the Signal Forum provided was they brought in some readers and had them ask some questions. So it was good to get like that, and that's where the senior care question came up with, and that discussion. So I think there's an advantage of the insight, and getting to listen to these people. I mean, see, if you're thinking about voting for an incumbent or a challenger, what are they saying? There's your opportunity to see it in person. And maybe they're not making that statement, or maybe they are, drawing your attention. But at that point, again, it's on the candidate. It's not on, the forum
it
or
seems
the
like
format.
there's so much fluff that it's.
Would it be fair to say at this point, gentlemen, that so far this is just a personality contest?
Well, isn't that what politics are? I mean, to,
To a certain extent, it's going to be that anyway.
Yeah.
First of all, local politics. I completely agree with you. Local politics, especially, is going to be its name recognition, personality, and things along those lines.
I think name recognition is the biggest thing. That's what I've heard from experts.
Sure.
And what do you identify with that name? You know, does it stand out for you?
And that's why some of these endorsements, the KHS, the Signal, and those things are going to play a lot because, first of all, getting me off the couch to vote, it's going to have to be, the stop sign in front of my house type issue.
And that's one of the biggest reasons why we have these. It's just getting people aware that there's going to be a vote April 8th. Right. If you want to register to vote, go ahead and do it. But, at least you can't say that nobody was covering it,
Exactly.
Because what's the typical voter turnout for this type of election?
Less than 10%.
Oh, yeah.
And that's like 12,000 people? Does that sound about right?
Yeah, that sounds about fair.
Let me ask you this. Do you happen to know why, and this could be a dumb question, I don't know, we don't hold these what?
Why this isn't a dumb question?
I said it could be a dumb question. I'm sick. Leave me alone. Why we don't have them in November with the other election?
It's just always been that way.
Yeah.
And
Did
that's how
that
they
make
set
more
up in the
sense to
city
you
charter.
guys if it was on in alignment with another election? Would you get better turnout?
Certainly, it's something that they've looked at. The school districts have all looked at that. The city hasn't yet, but I know that they had some discussion with the CVRA lawsuit, so that might be something you see as a resolution. It's certainly, the statistics and the studies show that would increase turnout
So?
to have it in November.
It makes too much sense, or what's the deal?
So I don't know. It's just a matter of changing that process. It's not, nobody asked me, but no, it's something that would increase turnout, and so I don't think that would necessarily be a bad thing. But the county has also, in the past, they kind of backed out of it politically and turned down the motion by the school district saying the county system couldn't handle all of the ballots in November.
That's a lot.
And that was their cop out. Now, I don't know if that was the reason or if it was more political motivations behind that, but that was the reason given.
Right.
And they are looking at evaluating those balloting systems.
I just know when I grew up in Arizona, whether it was Phoenix or Tucson, you went on election day, the second Tuesday of November, the first Tuesday. You voted on everything, from dog catcher all the way to president.
Devil's advocate, though, are you going to get lost
Did you vote for the dog catcher for president?
on 45 pages of ballot statements? Are you going to read every ballot statement?
true.
So there's that advantage, and there is a reasoning behind having it in April, because you have you want people who are going to be informed to show up to your elections and vote, right? Not just somebody who's just showing up.
Right. Exactly. All right, Perry Smith, thank you very much for stopping in. I appreciate the updates. We'll have
Thanks
you
for
back,
having me,
I'm
guys.
sure, as this heats up, hopefully, a little bit. I know the KHTS forum is coming up. When is that again?
Yeah, we're holding that with SCV TV on February 22nd. So shortly after that, we should have it broadcasted, and we'll have times available as we get nearer to that date.
We'll have you back on to talk about that.
Awesome.
All right, great. You're listening to the Gazette Radio Hour with Doug and John on Santa Clarita's hometown station, AM 1220. When we come back, Doug, maybe we'll talk to Mr. Music.
Is he going to be on?
Music. We will. I hope so. We like
All right,
music.
let's see if we can get hold of him.
All right.